Hey guys, it's Stoof from Travel SzN. Welcome back to our channel. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our fun travel videos like this one. In this video, I'm going to talk all about Hammock State Park in the Florida Keys. This is a beautiful state park. It has a campground and a day use area. I'm going to talk about the campground sites, the amenities at the campground, and also some things you can do at this park, whether you're staying here at the campground or just visiting for the day. Hammock State Park is located very close to Marathon, Florida, about halfway down the Florida Keys on your way to Key West. As I mentioned, there's a day use area and a campground. Campground reservations need to be booked 11 months in advance. You can book right at 8 a.m. 11 months in advance, and if you don't book it that instant, you are going to miss your chance to get your reservation. You may get lucky and someone may cancel their reservation. That's really the only way you're going to get a reservation. I tried to get a reservation every day at 8 a.m. on the dot for 2 weeks straight, and finally on the 15th day, I had a successful attempt at getting a campground site. It's really hard to get a site here, and here's why. As you can see, the sites are very spacious. There's a lot of privacy at the sites, and it's an easy walk to the beach. Marathon and the rest of the Florida Keys are very busy, especially in the winter months when a lot of people are coming down from the north and taking vacation time. This is one of the quieter areas of the Florida Keys. If you would like more time with the nature and time away from the noise and the partying of the Florida Keys, this is a really peaceful place to come. I'm showing a walkthrough of most of the sites. I didn't capture footage of every single site at this campground. There are 28 sites, I believe. 2 of those sites are the campground hosts, so that leaves 26 sites to reserve online. If you go to floridastateparks.org, that's where you can make your reservation and see more about the site details. On that website, it will show you the length of the pad, the maximum length that your trailer can have, and all that stuff. You can't access the beach directly from your site. On the loop that goes around the campground, there is a path in between sites 13 and 15, and that's how you can walk to the beach right there. There is a bit of sand dune area in between each campsite and the beach, and you're not supposed to go on the dunes, so you need to take that path to the beach to access the beach. This beach area is great. There aren't that many people here. I came and watched the sunrise every morning. It's a beautiful spot to watch the sunrise, and I was the only one on the beach every day, except for one day. There was one other person. But that's a pretty peaceful way to watch the sunrise. The water here is so calm because there's a reef a little farther out that stops some of those waves and calms the water. So even at a rough day at sea, the shore here, beachy area, is relatively calm. Each campsite here at the Hammock State Park has a picnic table, a grill. Some campsites have a paved concrete pad, and other sites are made up of broken up limestone and shell fragment material. The sites all have electric hookups and water hookups. There is no sewage hookup at any of these campground sites though. There is a dump station closer to site 25-26. That is where you can go to empty out your tanks. There also is a bathhouse with a dishwashing station at the base level of the bathhouse to help you preserve water. If you don't want to keep running back and forth to that dump station, you can go wash your dishes there, and you can get a shower in the bathhouse as well. The showers are nice, they're spacious, clean, and there is hot water, which is awesome. We have a 25-foot travel trailer, and we booked site number 22. I was very happy with our site when we got there. I think that may have been one of the top 5 sites at this campground. It's a short walk to the path to the beach, but this campsite is on the side with the beach, so you have a view of the water from your trailer. This campsite isn't just like a straight back line, it's like an L shape, and so your trailer goes in the straight part, and then you have this whole open area to the left of the travel trailer where you can picnic, you can work out, relax. We had our dogs tied up there when we were out at the picnic table, and there was a lot of space for them. So I really liked this site, and it was very private. You couldn't really see other trailers anywhere from your spot. In my opinion, the only site that could be better than this would be site 15 or 13 because they're so close to the beach and the bathhouse. Curry Hammock State Park Campground is very well maintained. There are 2 camp hosts on site if you have any questions or need help with anything, and there's a maintenance person that cleans the bathrooms every single day. They're also raking the sites as everyone leaves to keep the sites looking perfectly clean and pristine every time someone new comes. I have nothing but great things to say about this campground. If I can get a reservation, I'm going to try to do this every year. There's also a Curry Hammock Community Library at the bathhouse for campers, for people to leave books that they've read and pick up books to borrow and read and relax on the beach. Whether you're staying at Curry Hammock State Park Campground overnight or just visiting for the day, there's a lot to do in this little state park. My personal favorite thing to do was to watch the sunrise every morning, which you really can only do if you're staying at the campground because the day use area doesn't open until 8 a.m. I saw some amazing sunrises from this beach. I have a few I would like to paint later on, so if you're interested in that, the link for my art website is in the description under this video. In addition to watching the sunrise, you can see the sunset from this beach as well. The sun sets back behind Deer Key in the winter months. That's where the sun was setting. So I thought the sunrises were a little more exciting because the sun was coming up right over the horizon, over the ocean, and the sun sets back over land. One day we did a ranger-led kayaking tour where we did one of the 2 kayak routes that they recommend at the state park. Our kayaking route was the loop around Little Crawl Key, which is basically the island where our campground and day use area is located. The end of the kayak route takes you through a mangrove forest, like a mangrove tunnel. You have to go under mangrove trees in this canal, so that was really cool. You could see a lot of iguanas and birds in the trees. We saw crabs on the mangroves, horseshoe crabs in the shallow water, tons of tiny little upside down jellyfish in the water, and the ranger taught us about all of these things, including the different species of mangrove trees and how they grow in this environment. You can rent a kayak, the oars, your life vest, and you can also rent stand-up paddleboards, all from the ranger station at the entrance booth coming into the state park. There are other ranger guided programs. You can find out more about these ranger-led programs on the website for Curry Hammock State Park. If you're just visiting the state park for the day, you can come in past the entrance booth anytime after 8 a.m. There aren't that many parking spots. I'd say there's less than 20 parking spots. So if you get there and the parking spots are all full, I'm not sure if you can still enter the park or if you'd be turned away. Entering the park for day use is relatively inexpensive. I believe it's only $5 to $10 to enter the state park for the day. The park has several beach areas that you can relax on. They're never crowded. You can do kiteboarding on the water if you bring your own materials for that. And there's also a nature trail. The nature trail is not right in the state park area where the campground and day use area are. The nature trail is a little bit farther south down Highway 1. The nature trail is a short walk that takes you through native Florida plants and wildlife. There's a little picnic table off along that nature trail with views of the water and the Keys, and it's a really peaceful spot as well. Dogs are permitted to come into the state park whether you're staying at the campground or just visiting for day use. However, dogs are not permitted on the beach area, so keep that in mind if you're planning on bringing your pet with you. Another reason why Curry Hammock State Park was so awesome, it's quiet and secluded, but it's still very close to the town of Marathon. If you want to go visit a restaurant, you want to go out for dinner, or if you want to rent a boat and go out on the water, that's all very close to the campground, within a 10-minute drive. There's also a Publix and Winn-Dixie grocery store, gas stations, and an awesome dog park in the town of Marathon. Our dogs love that dog park. We took them there almost every day. There are beaches closer to the town of Marathon that are dog friendly as well if you want to take your dogs on a different beach where they are allowed on the beach. Alright guys, that wraps up my video about Curry Hammock State Park in Florida. All of Florida's state parks are great places to stay, relatively inexpensive and very well maintained. I highly recommend Curry Hammock State Park. It's just very difficult to get a reservation, so I wish you luck in getting your reservation. Have an amazing time if you're planning your trip there. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our fun travel videos like this one. Thanks for watching again, guys. Have a great day and happy travels!